Hey guys, future Topher here. So before we get into the reaction, I got a number of comments on my reaction to episode 5, and I don't know why I didn't notice it when I was reacting to it, and then even when I was watching it back to edit the reaction. But you guys let me know, and then I realized it after the fact that at the end of episode 5, it wasn't Anna's fault. It wasn't Anna who interrupted the potential kiss between Vlad and Carl. It was the power coming on. For whatever reason, I could notice all of the metaphors happening throughout the episode with ghost stories and whatnot, but I just totally neglected and overlooked the fact that the power came on and it wasn't Anna miraculously waking up and turning on the lights and interrupting them. So I'd like to issue an official apology to Anna. I'm sorry. Hashtag justice for Anna. My bad. It wasn't her fault. Don't nobody blame Anna no more, okay? But I still loved her regardless. Even if it was her fault, I still loved her, but it's not her fault. All right, back to the reaction. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we were getting into episode 6 of Gaya Pelikula. And if you saw my reaction to episode 5, you know I've got all the feels, and I needed to just see where things are going at this point. So we're not going to do a long intro. We're just going to dive on in and see what happens. Moments that fucking more.
Sandali nga. Okay ka lang ba?
Bakit?
Eh, ang weirdo mo pa kasi simula pa ng birthday mo.
Ang lahat ng makakarinig ng kwentong ito ay makikita nila yung bangkay na nawawala dun sa aparador nila.
Ikaw, Carl, magugustuhan mo to, si Vlad?
Pogi. Matalino. Tsaka confident naman. Ikaw na magligpit yan, ha?
So close.
Ba't ganyan ka maglakad?
Tulog ko eh.
May nararamdaman ka ba? Uy, huwag ka na maarte. Hindi ka naman mainit ah.
Sakit ulo ko. Sige na. Nandiyan ka pa.
Do you wanna talk about it?
About what?
The dance.
The dance?
Ah,
the dance? O, ano meron?
Halos di ka na bumaba ng kwarto after nun eh. Tapos, ayaw mo pa ako samahan kumain. Okay ka
Sige
lang.
sige na, alis ka na. Masakit nga ulo ko, diba?
Carl, nagsayaw lang tayo, okay? Doesn't have to mean anything, you know? So you can stop making me feel like a regret now. Anong iniisip mo?
Hindi, kasi...
Go away, Anna! Or whoever it is.
Dali lang, ha. Kumakatok eh.
We were just getting ready to get into a conversation. Damn it. Judith, okay.
I know, right? I miss you too.
I love you, but your timing's awful, Judith. Patricia, music. Round of applause for Patricia. Every freaking episode's amazing.
Where was I? Oh, right. So, ayun na nga. So I was telling Mom, it's different this time.
You know, I saw them together. They're so cute, so in love. And Carl is such a sweet boy. Which you really are, Carla. In fairness to you. And grabe your lashes. Look niyo ba online?
Cut to the chase, ate.
She's so happy for you, Vlad. Mom is so happy for you. And di ba sabi ko naman sa'yo, wala naman siyang issue with you being gay. Ang issue niya, dun sa ex mong duwag.
Di sana sinabi niya sa akin, diba?
But spoiler alert, she will. Tonight, we will have dinner with Carl. Already made reservations, pero mauuna na lang tayo dun kasi si mom kasi na-stock pa sa office, but she will be there.
So wait lang po, ate.
Isn't it exciting? Diba? Meeting the biyanan! And also, Carl, mom is also asking for your parents' numbers and address. Please, para naman mabigyan ka namin ng late Christmas presents for you being boyfriend to my brother, letting him stay here with you.
Hindi po kami, ate.
Oh, no. I mean, I get it, but my baby.
Pinatuloy ko lang po dito si Vlad dahil wala po akong pambayad ng renta.
Oh, no, baby, no. Baby, no.
Huwag niyong sabihin kay Papa, please. Hindi po kami.
Oh, it hurts.
Ate,
Wait lang.
ate, di kasi.
How could you lie to me? Gather. Okay. Now, Vlad, tell me how to convince Mom that you are deserving to be left alone, that you are capable of making mature decisions on your own, when you apparently paid someone to pose as your boyfriend using my money. I don't even pay for my men!
Ate, kaya ko naman bayaran yung...
Hindi! Isa ka pa! Pinagsamantalaan niyo yung kahinaan ko.
Ate, bagong taon naman na.
Hindi! Wala magbabago taon! Vlad, she was so excited to meet him. Let's go.
What?
Oh, bakit? You can come back for your things some other time. We have to talk. Total, nandito ka lang naman para makapagbayad siya ng renta. 'Di ba? Eh, nakapagbayad na siya. So you have no reason to stay here. Right, Carl? Right? I'm taking you home.
Oh, guys. I don't know who's breaking my heart more. Oh my god, why does this phone not stop ringing? Eventually it goes to voicemail. Jesus. Why do you not have voicemail on this phone? Jesus. Why does your dad not take a hint?
Oy, sa wakas! Sumagot ka din! Oy, Carl, nga pala. May ipapakita ako sa'yo.
Kamusta ka pala, Nak? Marapit na ang enrollment, ha? Lumabas na ba yung grades mo nung first sem?
Yun nga po eh. Ma, sorry, may mga dos po ako.
Nako, ano ba? Okay lang yun, Nak. Hindi naman masama yun eh.
Pero pa, may mga bago po akong kliyente. $7 per hour. Ghostwriting. Gusto daw po nila yung mga sinusulat ko. Magaling daw po ako magsulat.
Talaga? Ayan, maabot nga nun. Ayun na yun. Ayan. Paabot sa akin.
Kaya lang,
Ayan.
ghostwriting kaya hindi ako nakikredit eh.
Oh, nahanap ko to, oh. Naalala mo to? Ha? Ilan taon ka nga nito?
Mario.
Sandali. Okay lang yan.
Hindi naman po ako yung nag-drawing yan pa. Si Kuya po.
Di bale, mo, sa susunod na tawag ko, papakita ko yung mga drawing mo para ma-inspire ka naman sa gagawin mong dream house natin.
Pangarap niyo.
Ano yun?
Ayoko na po mag-architecture pa. Gusto ko na po mag-shift.
Ay, sandali. Parang humihina ka yata yung net natin. Sandali.
Ayoko na po maging arkitekto. Mag-shift na po ako.
Bakit, Nak? Nahihirapan ka na ba?
Hindi ma. Hindi lang po ako masaya.
Hindi masaya? Trabaho yan, Nak, di ba? Kailangan pa ba masaya?
Gusto ko naman po ng trabaho gugustuhin ko pa rin kahit di na ako masaya.
Paano yung dream house?
Pinangarap ko lang naman yun dahil pangarap niyo eh. Pwede ko pa rin naman magawa yun kahit di ako nasa architecture.
Sandali nga. Ano ba yung sinasabi mo? Pinipilit ka ba namin?
Hindi naman sa ganun pa.
Mario naman, oh. Anak, saan mo gustong lumipat?
Gusto ko pong magsulat. Gusto ko pong magpelikula.
Sus Mariosep, showbiz? Ano ba yung pumasok sa utak mo? Bakit yan? Alam mo, umuwi ka na nga muna pag-usapan natin.
Magtiwala ka sa desisyon ko, okay? Hindi naman ako malulunod dito eh, kaya hayaan mo ko, please.
Carl Frederick!
You were his favorite, you know.
Ano?
Vlad, whether it's Dad or your ex or Carl, please remember that you're worth staying for, okay?
Wow. That's rich coming from you.
Ah,
Ayan. Babakla-bakla ka kasi. Inuwan tuloy tayo ni Dad. Don't you remember? Tigilan mo ng magpanggap na lalaki. Talented yan, kaso bakla. Sayang kasi bakla. Why would you say that to a child? So please, stop parroting fake ally speeches. If you hate us, just be upfront.
Vlad, I was a kid too. Okay. I didn't know then what I know now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not apologizing sooner, but I'm saying sorry now. Sorry. Vlad. Vlad, mahal kita, okay? I know I can be too much sometimes, imposing even. Pero hindi ko lang kasi talaga alam na how to get to you. I know I'm not a perfect ally. I'm still navigating through this. But I'm still your only sister. And no matter how you fuck up, I'm still going to be your sister. Capish? Hello, Ma? Napawi na po kami.
Hello, Mom? Saan ako nakakwento pag uwi ko? Sorry. Anyway. Bye.
God, too many feels this episode.
Uy,
Bakit?
sure kang di ka uwi? Nasa Buda ako mag-art film eh. Ikaw bahala pumili. Di ako kontra. Promise.
No. Ikaw na lang muna manood. Yun lang ba?
Yun.
Okay.
I know it's hard, but just
Bye.
Maybe I just believed in the words you'd say to me. Promises just muttered.
Hindi ka na, Vlad. Hindi ko maintindihan. Wala akong makausap. Wala akong makasama. Parang di ako taga rito pag wala ako.
My heart still is yours because I tried so hard not to love that I felt anyway, but kept away became what I was scared of. Maybe I was afraid I would lose you painfully, and you tell me every day otherwise. So in time I believed maybe a promises drowned out all those other noises. Convinced me we'd last forever. We were crazy, true young lovers. I didn't wanna lose you, lost you anyway. Didn't wanna lose you, I pushed you away. I didn't wanna lose you. I didn't wanna lose you. I didn't wanna lose you.
Anna is leaving the unit next weekend. Has she told you?
Yeah. Magkasunod sila ni Carl.
Eddie, stop the car.
Madam?
I said stop the car.
She can see it.
Okay.
Huh?
Ako na mag-explain kay Mama. You only have until the weekend, kaya sulitin mo na. Kung masaktan ka uli, edi saka na natin problemahin. Basta ngayon, magmahal ka na muna. Okay. Just alley things.
To the place where you and I were supposed to meet. City on, the echo on, my thoughts are spinning on and on my head. It seems they lead me back to you. I keep coming back to you.
Go get your man.
Took a morning ride, found a place up in my mind no one else can see. Maybe it's fate that we lose control.
Get up
In
there.
circles around we go. We become who we ought to know. We just gotta let it go. We just gotta let it go. So I'm coming home to you.
It's just like the first time Carl saw Vlad.
You're all I need, the very air I breathe. You. Oh, 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 oh.
See, this was the dance party I thought we were gonna get at the end of the last episode. Where you going? Let's come back.
Ano inisip mo?
He let you touch his hair. Come back.
Ayaw mo mag-isip?
So I'm coming home to you.
better kiss now. Yup.
How'd he die?
Aksidente. Sabi ni Papa, di matututulong mo ngayong bata kapag di mo tinatapon sa malalim. Kaso, di nila natansya yung taas ng alon. Nalingat lang sila ng konti. Wala na si Kuya. Pagdala nila kay Kuya sa pangpanghuli na eh. They had me a year after. Tapos ayun. Pinamana yung mga damit. Makunan. Mga laruan. Ultimo pangarap. Pangalan. Siya yung Carl na mahilig mag-drawing ng bahay. I'm just living his life for him. Grabing sibling na rivalry to, no? Kalaban ko, undiscovered potential ng patay. Alam mo yung parang hindi ikaw yung bida sa sarili mong buhay. Kaya yung parang Janus character ka. Kahit si Joros or si Ketchup yung gumanap. Pareho lang yung effect. Tatayo yung pelikula. Sulat na yung script eh. Kataon lang na ikaw yung available kaya ikaw yung nakuha. Pero hindi siya sa'yo. Gets mo ba?
Yeah. More than you think.
Sige nga. Ikaw naman. Haba nun ah. Dali na.
Sige. Ito. Para may visual aid din. Yan.
Kamukha mo siya.
It's her favorite photo together. You know that joke they say na yung panganay lang yung conceived out of love? And then the rest are either just because they're bored or horny. Well, medyo iba sa amin. Si ate, she was conceived out of love. Kuya was conceived out of lust. And ako, I was conceived to save the marriage. I was made aware of it. You know, my mom would always say it's thanks to you that we're still a family. And I took pride in it. You know, I was the household prince. I was Dad's favorite. Minsan nga nag-aaway pa sila ni Mom because kawawa naman daw yung iba kong siblings eh. O, diba? But then one day, I came home from school and I was telling Dad about this boy, you know, my seatmate. I don't know why, but I was just so happy kasi binigay niya sa akin yung baon niya. Imagine I was just 6. I didn't even have the word for it yet.
Aga?
Yeah. Yun yung first time na pinalo niya ako. I mean, don't get me wrong. I now doubt it's because of that. Lalo na't nag-aaway rin naman na sila Mommy before Dad pa. Pero as a kid, I couldn't help but think that maybe that was it. On my 7th birthday, my mom pushed for me to have a party. Never mind that it was Jesus' birthday or whatever. All my friends came, she invited everyone. And then in the middle of the magic show, Dad dragged his luggage across me. And then he never looked back. Then he never came back.
Hindi mo na siya nagpaalam.
Well, he did this.
Sorry.
Sorry. You know, it's sort of funny though. Dito ka, feeling mo you're just serving somebody else's purpose. Yet here I am, feeling like I already failed serving mine, saving the marriage. That day when he left.
Sure kang okay ka lang sa inyo?
Yeah, bibigyan ko ng chance mo. Ikaw, paano kung ayaw na mag-shift?
Pipilitin ko sila.
Y'all better share the same bed.
Dad, gusto kong magsulat ng mga pelikula. Gusto kong masasabi kung sa akin. Ikaw ba?
Same. I want to be in charge of the ending too.
Okay. I don't know that I've been this emotional on any reaction that I've done thus far, Game Boy series included, and I got pretty hella emotional during some of those, the last like 3-4 episodes of Game Boys. That took me through an emotional roller coaster, but this episode was like, Lord Jesus, I don't think I cried this much. It was probably a very attractive reaction, and yeah, you're all welcome. But goodness, although it leaves me kind of in the same place as Game Boys did on episode 10, when Gab and Kai finally met together. They had that first date and whatnot, and it was beautiful and whatnot, but then I was like, where is the series gonna go? I still have 3 episodes left. Where's this series going? And here I'm like, this feels like a very climactic end of the movie kind of episode, you know, end of the series episode. We finally got everything that we've been working towards, finally got everything that we wanted. But I still got 2 episodes left in the season to react to, so where am I gonna go? What's gonna happen in these last 2 episodes? I don't know, but I guess I'll find out later. Not right now because I'm too emotional. I can't watch anymore right now. I'll probably rewatch that same episode because Lord, all the feels, and we got so much backstory, so much information. I'm wondering if this series was similar in a sense to Game Boys, where like they had planned for a certain number of episodes, but then due to the response from the fan base and just how well it was received, that they continued writing on, or if they had planned 8 episodes, because this just feels like such a good definitive season finale. Bam. And you know, just end everything where we ended it. So I don't know where we'd go from here, but yeah, just so much happened in this, so much development, so much. And see, this is good script writing. This is good storytelling. I can't remember what YouTube video. There was some YouTube video I was watching like weeks ago, and I think they were criticizing, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live film series by M. Night Shyamalan. We all got feelings about that movie, but we're not here to talk about that. But one of the things they were mentioning, and I've mentioned a number of times in some other reactions that I've done, where like you want things to flow naturally. You don't want, you know, to be like an info dump where you just have a character just spit information at you. You want things to feel organic and whatnot. And this episode, like the writing was so, the whole series, the writing was so well done, because like at no point did I feel like I was just being given information for the sake of being given information. Everything had a purpose, and it was introduced at a particular time for a particular reason. Even little things that you didn't think would really matter at that moment, like the world just built slowly around the 2 characters, and you just got to see more and more. You got more perspective on them, and like they didn't give you information until you were really ready for it. And I just love how, like, along the way they give you answers to questions you didn't know you had. Like, I didn't know specifically that I needed a reason for why Vlad hates people touching his hair. But then we got that backstory and how it's subconsciously, and I guess consciously, linked to his father basically just walking out on him. That was the last interaction he ever had with his father. And when people do that, it's just like an instant reminder. I didn't know that I needed a backstory on why Carl was pursuing architecture, outside of the fact that, you know, his dad kind of wanted him to. Like, we kind of got that early on, but I didn't know that I needed a backstory on, you know, a dead brother who was all about drawing houses and potentially living into architecture. Now he's living in that shadow. Like, there's just so many layers that just got built, so many layers to the characters, so many, oh my god. But we'll take it from the jump, because yes, Carl was still feeling awkward following the whole dance thing that was happening, the whole dance party that happened the episode before, and kind of avoiding Vlad. And they were about to really get into some deep conversation, it felt like, when Judith showed up. And I was like, damn it, Judith. But again, the timing was right. Timing needed to happen, because it progressed the story. The acting in this episode. I mean, the acting in all the episodes, but when it comes down to like these BL series and just what separates one from another is the storytelling and the acting. I don't care how attractive the people are, although everyone apparently in the Philippines is terribly attractive and terribly talented. You can sing and dance and whatever. But it doesn't matter how attractive the people are. It doesn't matter, how famous they are or whatever. Like at the end of the day, and this is me coming from just a performer standpoint, like if you guys follow me from my music reactions, you know that I've got a background in musical theater. I've been doing it for better part of a decade, a little bit over at this point, and like I'm a performer, so like I do a lot of shows, and like coming from that aspect, I've done a lot of shows where people were cast because they were friends with the director, or people were cast because they were attractive and they fit what the typical physical description of the role might be, not necessarily because of their talent or anything like that. And that's how I feel a show should be cast, unless like the script specifically asks for a particular character type or something like that. But like for me, what separates these BL series from being like god tier, which like everyone says that this is, along with Gay Boys, which I'm inclined to agree, and being just like another everyday sort of just series, is the writing, the acting, and just the connections between the actors and the characters and just the world that they build for us. So like here, the acting was so incredibly strong. Like I said, I haven't cried this much in a reaction. I haven't gotten this emotional during a reaction ever. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't think I got this emotional during the Game Boys reactions, and I got hella emotional for those reactions. But yeah, when Judith came and she's like, Mom doesn't have a problem with you. She doesn't have a problem with you being gay. She had a problem with you and that boyfriend that you had before. But no, she's excited to meet Carl. He's a nice boy. Oh, and she wants your parents' information, their address, so she can send them late Christmas gifts, blah, 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 blah. And it's all coming from a place of love, and they're embracing Vlad. But you can see Carl starting to break under pressure, starting to get really, really nervous because he doesn't know what's going on. Carl is in this state of self-discovery where he just started to consciously embrace the idea like, okay, maybe I might be attracted to Vlad. Maybe. I don't know. So I'm gonna avoid him for a while. So he's dealing with that right now. So he's not ready to dive full force into meeting the family and then having his family, being outed to his family potentially because he's not had any kind of conversations like that with his family. And like all the pressure of it just made him snap, and he's like, we're not together. Bam. Spilled the beans. And then Judith's reaction, like it bounced back and forth between this really sort of serious emotional hurt and like this over the top like yelling, screaming thing, which sometimes felt kind of comical. Not like, oh my god, this is comically bad or anything, but like sometimes it felt like it might have been done for comical effect, but other times it still just felt authentic. So like she was going back and forth between this really, really heartbroken place, and every time you could see it in her eyes, you could hear it in her voice. Every time she would get to that place where you could tell she was really, really hurt by the fact that Vlad and Carl lied to her and took advantage of her kindness and just all these things. Like, oh my god, like that tore my heart out for her. And then she's like, okay, well, we're gonna go home. I'm taking you home. You can come back to get your stuff because you don't have any other reason to be here because you were just paying him to pay his rent, and he paid his rent, so he can go, right? And then just the look on Carl and Vlad's face, because Carl, like at that point, he just broke it. He just spilled the beans, but he's not ready to admit any kind of feelings for Vlad. He's not figured that part out for himself yet, so he's not ready to go there. So he can't just. We all know, as viewers, we all know that Carl has feelings for Vlad. We know Vlad has feelings for Carl. We know this. We know this. We know this. We can see this. We've been watching their journey. But in this world, Carl is not in a place where he can say it yet. So he has to let Vlad go. He's like, yeah, no, he's good to go. And you could just see that Vlad was crushed. Because, again, I think Vlad understands that Carl is still figuring things out, but at the same time, I think he wanted Carl to just outright be ballsy and just say it, just come out and say it and say, no, I want him here. So that whole scene just tore me up. Then Vlad and Judith at dinner, oh God, got a little bit more backstory. And, you know, she was saying, you know, whether it be Carl or your ex or dad, don't ever feel like you're not worth staying for. And it's like, oh my God. And then that's when Vlad let out his insecurities that he's been holding for the longest in relation to Judith and how she treated him when they were younger. Even though she's tried to change, she's tried to make amends, she's tried to show she's an ally, you know, which makes some of her characterizations in the early episodes make so much more sense, because like I always wonder, like, why is she so hard pressed on, like, I'm an ally, I'm here for the gays, I love the gays, yay, 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 gay, gay, gay. Like, why is she so intensely proving that she's an ally? Like, I get it, thank you, our community thanks you, but calm down. But it makes sense because she's said things in the past, and like she said, she was just a kid at that point too. She's grown, she's learned, she's seen how it's affected him, she's seen how words can hurt, and she's trying to make amends, although I don't think she ever officially apologized for it until this episode, but she's trying to make the amends in her own way, and he's just been holding on to it for the longest, which explains, you know, his dynamic with her. So I'm glad that they could have that conversation. She could officially apologize and they could reconcile a little bit, because she has learned from her mistake, and it's her baby brother. She's trying to take care of her baby brother, making sure he's okay. She worries, she wants him to be okay. So yes, I'm glad they had that chance to reconcile, and then being the good big sister that she is, she can recognize that while he's not saying the words, he's feeling the feels, and he's feeling the feels for Carl. So she's like, you know what? Go get your man. If you get hurt, we'll deal with that later. But get your ass out this car, go get your man. Granted, she could have the driver just turn around and drive him to the place, but no, fine, we're gonna make it a little bit more dramatic. Run your ass over to the building. And then at that point, Carl had the conversation with his parents. And then that's when we started to get a little bit more perspective, but then it didn't fully make sense until the end when he was having his conversation with Vlad. But, you know, his parents, you know, just being them, checking in, how's it going? Did you get your grades? Next semester is coming around, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, you know, I didn't do too hot, blah, blah, blah. But you can still see that he was, you know, visibly distraught from the whole interaction that he had with Vlad. And then when he was making the rice, and then he was about to pour the second cup of rice in the rice maker, and then he's like, it's just me. You have to put the rice back. Oh my God, little minor detail, but God, is it so effective. One thing that drove me crazy is, why does his phone not have, and I guess, okay, it's a video call, so that's probably why there was no voicemail, but still, I'm like, Dad, get the point. Jesus Christ, like, you've been ringing for like 20 minutes at this point. He's not answered the phone. He'll get back to you later. Just hang up, please, for my sanity. But yeah, they had their conversation, and then brought up the brothers drawing, which at the moment, like I said, it didn't mean anything to me. Like, the brothers drawing meant absolutely nothing. It was like, okay, just mistaken identity, you know, my big brother drew this, not me. Cool. I had no idea where the big brother was, you know, whatever. But you could see that there was a physical reaction between, you know, the mom, the dad, they saw, whatever, and Carl was already in a distressed emotional state at that point anyway, so him, you know, just saying it was my brother's, whatever, it didn't mean anything to me at that particular point. But it was enough of a trigger when he was talking about that, and the fact that he's got more clients and he's writing as a ghostwriter, but he's not getting any credit for any of the things he's writing. It kind of parallels the story that he was telling Vlad after the fact, of, you know, his brother passing and, you know, his brother being the one drawing houses and whatnot, and how he ended up being born after the fact and getting his brother's name and almost kind of being like a replacement child for this ghost child. So he's kind of like a ghost child in a sense. He's lived, and all of a sudden everything from the first episode, that whole opening sequence of, you know, do you ever feel like you're a supporting character in your own life or something like that, it made the world of sense. Like everything just came together so eloquently, and it all just boom made sense. And it's like, okay, he's like this. And I feel like that's why him coming to the, telling his parents like, yeah, I'm a ghostwriter, I'm not getting credit for anything like that, that's what triggered him to be like, no, I want to switch majors, because he's lived his entire life as this ghost child or ghost writer child or whatever, you know, living the life that his brother potentially could have gone down. So it's not anything that he chose, and it's not necessarily that his parents forced this life on him, but you could see that he was kind of led a little bit more so by dad. Mom seems to be a very understanding type of person. This seems to be a lot more of a dad leading type of thing. But yeah, it's just the parallels between that. Very, very, very nicely done. So him being this ghostwriter and having lived his whole life as this, you know, replacement kid in a sense, not really having an identity of his own, especially coming down to giving him the exact same name. Like, come on, parents, y'all should know better. Come on. But yeah, that was enough to break him. He's like, I want my life to myself. I want a life with decisions that I've made for myself, not for anybody else, not for you, not to make you happy. I want a job where I can be happy. And yes, I can get a job in architecture, but I'm not happy here. I'm not happy here. I want to be happy. I can make money and be happy. I will live life. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'll be fine. So that was a very brave, gutsy move for him to do, but I think that was just kind of like the emancipation that he needed at that moment to just, everything's out in the world. Everything's out. You know, he's got these feelings for Vlad, which he's not really, you know, told him yet, but he's in touch with them at this point. He's told his parents about changing majors and everything's just out in the open and just, bah. So he's got nothing else in the world weighing him down. So at that point, he just danced. He danced freely and just, he just danced. And then when Vlad came back and opened the door, it was just very reminiscent of the first time that Carl saw Vlad when he was dancing over in Anna's place before Anna moved in. But at that point, like, when we're dancing and we're just having a good time, like, we dance like no one's watching. That's the saying. You dance like no one's watching, sing like nobody's listening, whatever, and you just, you know, you're just in your own world and you're just enjoying life for what it is. But like sometimes when we're in that groove and whatnot, and then, you know, we see someone's actually there watching us, a lot of time our instinct is to just, you know, stop. Oh, I wasn't doing anything. Get kind of embarrassed and whatnot. But Carl instead was like, join me in this dance. And they just danced together, and it was beautiful. And then we got the kiss. It was so good. It was so good. So good. And then we got all the backstory after that. And like I said, everything, once they were telling these backstories, like everything just came together. The whole world just tied up in a nice, perfect global, which is why I keep feeling like this is like a season finale episode, so I don't know what's going to happen in the next two episodes. And then they finally slept together, sleep. Well, who knows? They might have done other things too. I don't know. Maybe that's what episode 7's about, in which case I better go watch that real quick. But no, it was just sweet, and you know, they were just cuddling and whatnot, which, you know, is sweet in theory, but you know, I'm a very hot person. I get very heated very quickly, so this cuddling thing is gonna have to end. You're gonna have to go onto your side of the bed real quick. But yeah, just sweet. And then the ending credit scene, they were cuddling together on the couch, which is, you know, Carl had the orca. I'm assuming Vlad had the remote, or they were splitting the remote. I don't know, but it was just cute. It was cute, and again, it just felt like a wrap up to the season. So I don't know what the next 2 episodes are gonna have in store for me, but I'm just gonna have to wait on that because I'm in a good place right now. I'm in a good pausing place. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my ramblings. Oh God, I've been sitting here for 3 hours watching and talking about this. So I'm just gonna stop rambling. The episode's only like 25-30 minutes, so I just sit here and ramble for like another 30 after the fact. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Bye. Guys, go a shout out to my amazing patrons. I can't begin to express how thankful I am for your support, and if you guys would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I love you guys.